What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, you could be doing something that opens a doorway for a jinn to enter your life? We often think jinn are a distant reality, something far away, something from another world. But what if your everyday habits were actually inviting them in? The truth is, many of us are unknowingly opening ourselves up to jinn by doing things we don't even realize are dangerous. In this video, I'm going to reveal the things you must stop doing to protect yourself and your loved ones. The reality of jinn. Let's get one thing clear. Jinn are not just legends or old stories. They are real beings created by Allah, just like us, but made from smokeless fire. Allah mentions jinn in the Quran, and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned us of their existence. The reality is that jinn can have an impact on our lives, especially if we're not careful. So, what are the things that could invite them into your life? Let's find out. Number 1. Leaving prayers and forgetting Allah. The first and most dangerous thing you can do is to ignore your prayers and forget to mention Allah's name throughout your day. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "When a man enters his house and mentions the name of Allah at the time of entering it and while eating, Shaitan says, 'You have no place to stay and no dinner.' But if he enters without mentioning Allah, Shaitan says, 'You have found a place to stay.'" Sahih Muslim. This shows that the more you disconnect from Allah, the more vulnerable you become to the whispers and influence of Shaitan and the jinn. Your daily salah, dhikr, remembrance of Allah, and reciting Quran are your greatest protections. Number 2. Hanging amulets or relying on superstitions. Many people hang charms, amulets, or carry symbols, thinking they will bring protection or good luck. But by relying on these objects, you are actually inviting jinn into your life. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, strictly warned against this, saying, "Whoever wears an amulet has committed shirk, Ahmad." When you put your trust in objects, you turn away from Allah's protection and invite the influence of jinn, who are always attracted to acts of shirk and false beliefs. Number 3. Entering abandoned and dark places. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us to be careful in places where jinn might dwell, abandoned buildings, ruins, or dark corners. These are places where jinn tend to gather, and entering without caution or saying the proper du'as can make you vulnerable to their presence. When any one of you goes to the toilet, let him say, "Bismillah, I seek refuge in Allah from the male and female devils." Sahih Muslim. Without saying the appropriate du'as, you are walking into a space that may already be occupied by unseen beings who don't want you there. Number 4. Engaging in un-Islamic practices and music. Certain behaviors, like engaging in inappropriate entertainment, listening to certain kinds of music, or participating in un-Islamic gatherings, can lower your spiritual dents. The more you engage in things that distance you from Allah, the more likely you are to become a target. It's as if your soul is a fortress, and each un-Islamic act creates cracks in its walls. And whosoever turns away from the remembrance of the most beneficent Allah, we appoint for him a devil to be a companion to him. Quran 43:36. Your heart becomes a magnet for jinn when it's not filled with the light of faith. Number 5. Ignoring the sunnah before sleeping. There are sunnahs that we are recommended to follow before going to bed, like making wudu, reciting Ayat al-Kursi, Surah al-Ikhlas, Surah al-Falaq, and Surah an-Nas. These simple acts are like building a shield around yourself before you enter the vulnerable state of sleep. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever recites Ayat al-Kursi before sleeping, Allah will appoint a guardian to protect him, and no devil will approach him until morning." Al-Bukhari. Skipping these small but powerful acts can leave you spiritually unguarded. Conclusion: protect yourself the right way. So what's the solution? It's simple. Return to Allah. Strengthen your iman, faith, and protect yourself by following the sunnah. Keep your heart connected to Allah through prayer, recitation, and remembrance. The jinn exists, yes, but their power over you weakens the closer you are to Allah. Don't let ignorance or forgetfulness make you vulnerable. Be vigilant, be cautious, and always turn back to Allah's guidance to keep yourself safe from the unseen. And remember, the best protection is the protection of Allah. Keep your faith strong, and the jinn will have no power over you. If you found this information helpful, make sure to share it with your friends and family. Protect yourself and others from the dangers of the unseen by spreading this important knowledge.